Who dat to the Who Dat Nation? Welcome to the Who Dat Say podcast, your podcast for the New Orleans Saints here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and week 2 of the NFL preseason 2025 has wrapped up for our New Orleans Saints as they took on the Jacksonville Jaguars, ending in a tie as the Saints tied with the score 17-17. This game was a quarterback competition game because nothing else in this game, I'm not going to say mattered, but nothing else really came to the forefront to whereas you're looking at players and say, okay, this is the guy. It sprinkled every now and then throughout. Jonas Sinker is one name that comes to mind. I think he showed out today, but other than that, nobody else made an impression at all. And so this was more of a showcase for the QB1 position between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. Now, midway through this game, not midway, because Tyler Shuck played the entire first half and Spencer Rattler played the entire second half. But I would say midway through the third quarter, I told myself, we don't have a quarterback. We are in deep trouble. Not to mention, it goes without saying, our offensive line is hot garbage, people. We got issues. I don't care who the starting quarterback is. You can bring back Drew Brees and have Tom Brady be the backup quarterback. I don't care who you have in your quarterback room. If we're going into the season with this offensive line, we're in trouble. And unfortunately, we are. We're in trouble. And what makes it so embarrassing, this is an offensive line of first-round picks. Everyone on that offensive line is a first-round pick. The only one I give an exception to is Calvin Banks Jr. because he's a rookie. I'll give him kind of a curve. But everybody else, who's a first-round pick, but everybody else. Cesar Ruiz. Now, I would go as far to say I think he's the longest tenured on that line, if I'm not mistaken. He was the worst. He was the worst today. Eric McCoy is a first-round pick. Trevor Penning is a first-round pick. He didn't play today. I think he's still hurt. But the point I'm trying to get at. Taliense Fuaga, he's a first-round pick. All of these players are first-round picks. Playing like that. No, the pass protection is garbage. Tyler Shuck didn't have no time in the pocket. None. It was like, my God, man. Give the dude a chance. Give him a chance to make something happen. It was ridiculous. The run blocking, that's non-existent. Couldn't run the ball. Everything Kendre Miller did in that first half was all Kendre Miller. No holes opened up because of that offensive line. It was embarrassing. And look, man, I know I came into this season with the optimistic hat on. I wasn't going to rant and get upset and get bent all out of shape. But as this game went on and on and on, all I could think about was, man, I'm going to have to sit here for 6 months and endure this hot garbage, man, on this offensive line and the defense too. And we're talking starters here, or at least those who started the game. It was like watching, I would say, a glorified practice, but I think there's more fight in practice. This was something else, man. It's indescribable what took place out there on the field. The tackling was bad, and I'm transitioning to the defense. The tackling was bad. The gap containment was bad. The coverage was bad. Everything was bad. Jacksonville moved the ball up and down the field. You know how telling it was? how bad the defense was, Trevor Lawrence started the game, who is the Jacksonville Jaguars starting quarterback. He started the game. We get to the third string quarterback, and I couldn't tell the difference. Each quarterback tore the Saints behind up. I mean, they didn't miss a beat. There was no drop off in production from the offense, going by their deduction in status at quarterback. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to watch. And for all of you, or all of us in the Who Dat Nation that want to make excuses for Kellen Moore, oh, it's his first year. There's a new system. We're trying new things. We're doing X, Y, Z differently. So is Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a brand new coach. Yeah, they have a new quarterback, but whatever. I mean, the same quarterback. I'm sorry, but whatever. There's a new system there. There's a new coach there. They didn't look like a team that was trying to rebuild or trying to change up things. They look like a team that's ready for the season. We didn't. I was so discouraged by what I saw going on throughout this game. And now, as I said, it wasn't all doom and gloom. There were some bright spots in this game. I did like what I saw from Spencer Rattler. I liked a little bit what I saw with Tyler Shuck up to the fourth quarter. I was sitting there like, well, we're dead even here, which probably means Tyler Shuck is going to be the starting quarterback. All right, that's fine. But I also said, well, if we're going to go with Tyler Shuck, also be prepared to have Spencer Rattler ready to go by week 3, because going behind that offensive line and the way they're playing, the way they're not blocking, he's going to end up getting killed. Now, that goes for anybody. That goes with Spencer Rattler. Even if they go with Spencer Rattler, same rules apply. You better get your QB2 ready, because that offensive line is going to kill him. Whoever is sitting back there. The only shining light you have with a Spencer Rattler, he can read a defense. At least he can read the defense better than Tyler Shuck at this point. It's going to get there with Tyler Shuck. It's not there now. And that was shown today. That was shown in this game today. Tyler Shuck does not have the field vision to see an NFL field as a quarterback yet. Is getting there. But I'm just going to go out and say it right now. Spencer Rattler should be named the QB1 going into this season. We shouldn't be going back and forth next week when the Saints play the Broncos. Okay, let's send them out there again. Let them play a couple of quarters and all that. Nah, we should know right now. At least I do. I know right now who the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints should be. And it should be Spencer Rattler. Now, with all that being said, and I think this is what gets lost when you have these debates and you have these discussions about who should be the number one quarterback and who gives your team the best chance to quote-unquote win. I don't expect Spencer Rattler to do nothing special. Nothing. Spencer Rattler isn't the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Yes, he's good in by Saints standards, because we don't have anybody, going by what we have in that room. Spencer Rattler is the best option in that room, hands down. I mean, it's not even up for debate in my eyes. Jake Haynard ain't it. He's shown that time and time, even though I think he has a place on his team, but it's not QB1. Tyler Shuck ain't it, because he's not ready. He's not ready. And it's not the end of the world. When you say that, and I've gotten discussions off, this past week about this, it comes off as I just hate Tyler Shuck. No, I don't. I do not hate Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck has a beautiful throw. He can spin it. He can get the ball down the field. But his vision, what you need from a quarterback, I need to see that you see what's going on or what's coming at you. And he doesn't have that yet. That comes with time. Not every quarterback can do that. Yeah, I know we're used to we're spoiled by Drew Brees. Drew Brees knows exactly, or he knew exactly what was coming his way each and every play in terms of the defense. What was it, zone? Was it man? Were they blitzing? What what side they're blitzing on? Drew Brees can call out the protection coverages to the offensive line. He knew everything. But Drew Brees, we didn't get rookie Drew Brees. We got seasoned Drew Brees when he came to New Orleans. He knew all this, and that's a rarity. Not all quarterbacks have that. And when they do, it takes time for them to develop that. And what a few of the conversations I had, and trust me, I had a lot of conversations, unfortunately, a lot of conversations this past week about this quarterback battle. And I was saying, I don't have a problem with Shuck. I hope Chuck pans out. I need Chuck to pan out because I'm a Saints fan. And this is our quarterback. This is who we drafted. I need him to pan out. But I'm not ready to rush him out there. I'm not ready to throw him to the wolves. I'm not ready to just stick him out there because we drafted him high in the second round. This can wait. It can wait. It's not the Saints. You're not doing nothing this season anyway. So it makes no sense to throw him out there, destroy himself physically, mentally, and spiritually because the Saints aren't going anywhere this season. So no need to rush. There's no need to rush. Let's get him right. And when he's ready, stick him in there. That could be later on this season, like I was saying before. It could be midway through this season. Chuck got it. It finally clicked. Like, boom. Now I'm ready to go. For example, look at Bryce Young over there in Carolina. Bryce Young, first overall pick a couple of years ago. They threw him out there, and he looked like pure hot garbage. He looked horrible for the past couple of seasons. But something happened last season. Something took place mentally with Bryce Young. He got benched for one. But after he came back from being benched, Bryce Young was a different quarterback. Bryce Young turned into an actual NFL quarterback, beat the Saints. He beat the Saints, and he actually took the Eagles to the limit. He took another big team, another playoff team to the limit. The switch was flipped, and it took time. Now, I'm not expecting Tyler Shuck to take 2.5 years for it to click on, but the example, it takes time. Sam Darnold was a bust with the Jets. He bounced from team to team. He went to Minnesota, and the switch was flipped. He took Minnesota to the playoffs. It takes time. So all I'm saying, there's no need to rush him. Let's go with the best option that can get us some games, that can keep us competitive. And that's the important thing. Just keep us competitive. And that is Spencer Rattler in my mind. But that was really solidified today. Because up till today, I was like, okay, they're pretty even. And they were. And it was midway through this game, I felt that way. Yeah, it's even. I don't know which way is up when it comes to this quarterback battle. But this game, I should say, did it for me. I saw a lot of poise and maturity from Spencer Rattler that I haven't yet seen from Tyler Shuck. Didn't see Jake Haener today, but do we need to? Honestly, Jake Haener can play next week. Let him get all his reps next week. Right now, I think Spencer Rattler is the guy. The way he bounced back, and I got to give credit where credit is due. He threw a pick. He did the same thing Shuck did last week. Threw that pick. The only thing more devastating this time, this was in the red zone. He cost us points as opposed of giving the other team points that Shuck did. But yeah, that was a big pick because the Saints had a nice drive going. He orchestrated a beautiful drive and ended with that pick. And Saints gets the ball back, and just like Shuck did last week, responded. And that was the big thing, responding. How are you going to respond to that turnover? Down by 8, less than 2 minutes to go in the game. He brought them down the field, 82 yards. 82 yards drive. capped off with a 20-yard touchdown, and he got the 2-point conversion as he spun out and ran it in himself to tie the game, and that's how we ended it. Great way to respond, great way to fight back, and that was another telling thing as well. There was no fight in this team for 3.5 quarters. It was embarrassing to watch, man. It was hard to watch this team. The lack of effort on tackles and blocks and even catching the ball or running the ball was deplorable. It was like watching a high school team. Actually, I saw high school teams play better. I apologize to all the high school players out there, but it was horrible to watch. And to use that excuse that they played or practiced with the LA Rams all week long, they probably all banged up and all this. Well, the Rams did too. Everybody practiced last week. I don't care who you practiced against. You should still come up out here with some effort. I can understand the starters, but who didn't play, but for all of these young players who are trying to find a spot on this team, you would think you would go out there and give it your all. I mean, you need to win this job. There's only 52 positions on this team. You're not guaranteed a job. And they played like they knew they had a job. Maybe they do, but I don't think it's in New Orleans because there was some bad football being played by all of those young men on that field today. Let's go through some of the stats of today's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Starting with this quarterback battle, both of these two players have been battling it out all training camp and preseason thus far. Spencer Rattler, he was 18 for 24, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception today. He had a rating of 95.7. Tyler Shuck, he was 9 for 12, 66 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. He was sacked twice. Spencer Rattler wasn't sacked at all. But Tyler Shuck did have a rating of 87.5 today. Another thing I wanted to touch in on here, which is kind of weighing my decision why I say Spencer Rattler should be the starter. Tyler Shuck had every weapon at his disposal. Chris Olave played. Rashid played. He had all the starters. He had Kendrick Miller. He had the starting offensive line, which doesn't say nothing at all, to be honest with you, but he had it. He had all the weapons at his disposal, as opposed of Spencer Rattler, who was with the second and third string players. But with his full arsenal, well, not full, but 80% arsenal, Tyler Shuck did nothing with that. He did absolutely nothing with it. And I can't pinpoint if it's him or the team or Kellen Moore, his play calling, or whatever the case may be, because there's been examples of how the play calling has been horrible from Kellen Moore as well. But moving on with the stats, let's go to the running. In the run game, we need help there. We need some serious help. Yeah, we haven't seen Alvin Kamara, so take this with a grain of salt, but it's still kind of concerning when it comes to our run game. We need to run the ball a little more as a team, especially to help these young quarterbacks, whether it's Shuck or Rattler or Hayner. You need to run the ball more. That helps because defenses don't respect your O-line. They just straight up, they don't respect your offense because they know you're not going to run the ball. So I hope they clear that up. And I know it's preseason, but they need to clear that up ASAP. No Rocky. Leading rusher today was Valdez Jones Jr., 4 carries for 29 yards. Kendrick Miller had 6 carries for 21 yards. Spencer Rattler, 3 carries for 19 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 4 carries for 12 yards. Marcus Yams, 2 carries for 4 yards. And Cam Akers, 2 carries for 2 yards. Leading receiver today is, of course, Mason Tifton. He is fighting. I think he's locked in. He has a job. he got his job locked up. And I'm assuming the third wide receiver position. Saints still need to bring in somebody with some size though, because Mason Tifton is small. He's a small receiver, but didn't affect him today. He had 6 catches for 100 yards today. Dante Pettis, he had 4 catches for 57 yards, and the Saints go ahead, well not go ahead, but game ending touchdown. Trayton Welch, who I've never heard of until today, he had 2 catches for 30 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 2 catches for 16 yards. Rashid Shaheed, welcome back, Mr. Shaheed. He had 3 catches for 15 yards. Michael Jacobson, 2 catches for 12 yards. Chris Olave, 2 catches for 12 yards and a big drop. He had a drop today. I was like, man, my God. My God. Come on, Chris. Let's get it together. Moving over to the defense, our leading tackler today was Quincy Riley. He had 9 total tackles. Ugo Amadi had 5 tackles. DeMarco Jackson, he had 5 tackles. Jonas Sanker, who I've talked about with the start of the show, he really impressed me today. He had 5 tackles total today, and he also had the game-ending interception that kind of sealed up our tie. I was about to say victory, but it is a victory in my mind. It's a victory in my mind. But he sealed the game with that pick. Danny Struckman, he had 5 tackles as well. Going over the team stats, starting with first downs, Saints had 21 first downs. I'm sorry, Jacksonville had 21 first downs. Saints had 18 first downs today. On third down, the efficiency, Jacksonville was 50%. They were 6 for 12. Saints were 4 for 13. Not good. Not good at all. Fourth down efficiency, both teams were 100%. They went for it once and converted once. Total plays, Jacksonville ran 63 plays to the Saints 59. Total yardage, Jacksonville 337 yards to the Saints 335 yards today. Total drives, Jacksonville had 10 drives to the Saints 9 yards per play. Jacksonville 5.3, Saints 5.7. Not bad. Jacksonville had 241 yards passing to the Saints 248 rushing. Jacksonville had 96 yards rushing to the Saints 87 yards rushing. In the red zone, which is horrible for the Saints. Saints were 1 for 3 in the red zone. Jacksonville were 2 for 3 in the red zone. Saints, penalties, man. The penalties were still there. 6 penalties for 57 yards today. Jacksonville only had 4 for 61 yards. Turnovers today, Saints won the turnover battle 3-1, and they also won the time of possession battle 31 minutes 12 seconds. Jacksonville 28 minutes and 48 seconds. And so this was another thing I wanted to touch in on when it came to Spencer Rattler. The offense ran pretty balanced. It was pretty balanced when he was in there. As far as the pass and rushing, it looked like the team was being more of an orchestrated offense as opposed to the first half. I don't know what they were doing in the first half, to be honest with you. To be fair, to be 100% fair to Tyler Shuck, I don't know what was going on in that first half. The play calling was horrible. It was horrible. And, we do things fair and balanced here. I said the same thing last week in regards to Spencer Rattler, how the play calling was horrible when he had the ball. I can say that too with Tyler Shuck today. So I guess they're kind of balanced out on that in that front. It was not a good a well called game today by Kellen Moore. But the one thing that has been consistent in this offseason, training camp, preseason, is the special teams. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing from the special teams. kick returns, or I don't fault them for this because I don't like the kickoff rule. It's so blank. I don't know why they just don't spot the ball at the 25 or 30, wherever they put it. Just spot the ball, because the kickoffs are stupid. It is so dumb. It's a waste of time. It really is. But the kick coverage is decent. It's still, they had good field position. They being Jacksonville for a good majority of this game, and defense, which is already struggling, they were behind the eight ball just to start off a drive. So there was that. But at the end of the day, yeah, the special teams looks good. Our field goal kicking looks strong. Punting looks fairly decent. I'm still kind of confused why we managed to get into a punting battle every single year since Thomas Morstead left. They should have just kept Thomas Morstead. He really shows his value, but not being here. But it is what it is. We don't have bad punters though. Other than the one that Dennis Allen was super high on, the Australian guy, the one with all the tats and everything. He was not a good punter. God bless him. But we've moved on, moved on from him, I believe. But anyways, yes, the Saints, they tied today, bringing their record in the preseason to 0-1-1 as they prepare to take on the Denver Broncos, a returning Sean Payton again to the Caesars Superdome next Saturday at 12 noon. That's hard for me because I got plans next Saturday. I thought the game was on Sunday. I thought the game was going to be next Sunday, but it's on Saturday. So I'm gonna have to shift some things around because I have things to do, people. I got a life. So we'll figure it out. I got a few days to figure it out. But nonetheless, more importantly, the Saints need to figure it out. We have some serious issues when it comes to this team. Now, like I said, to be fair, a lot of players didn't play today. Kind of hard to judge. Trevor Penning didn't play. Who else? Julian Blackmon didn't play. Brandon Cooks, Demario Davis, Gotro, our defensive tackle that we traded for. Carl Grandison didn't play. Jawan Johnson didn't play. Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara, Eric McCoy, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Justin Reed, Nathan Shepard, Pete Warner, Chase Young. These guys didn't play. They were healthy scratches. They weren't because of injury. Now, injury-wise, Terrell Burgess, he's banged up. He didn't play. Deshaun Jackson, defensive end, he didn't play. JT Gray, Taysom Hill, Foster Monroe, Devin Neal, once again Trevor Penning, Alante Taylor. They're hurt. They're hurt, and so they didn't play as well. We did lose a defensive tackle in today's game. John Ridgway, he left the game in the fourth quarter. It looked like something in his upper body somewhere. He got hurt. Hopefully it's not serious. We'll see in the next coming days, but we have enough issues. We have enough issues. We don't need to compound the problem. But nonetheless, I feel good. It feels like the Saints won. I feel like the Saints won something today, even though they tied. But I was encouraged by the fight at the end. There was zero fight in the first three quarters, but the last quarter, especially that last 5-6 minutes of the game, the Saints, they went out there and gave it their all, man. The guys that were out there, they gave it their all. Now, if they can bottle that up and spread it around and use that for all four quarters, Saints might do something. We don't know. We'll see. But I would like to know, what did you think of Sunday's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars? Do you think the Saints are in a good position here at quarterback? Do you think it's still close? Or do you think Tyler Shuck has the edge? I would love to know that. I mean, it's possible. I'm going by my assessment, and I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not an NFL scout. But going off of what I see, I'm just going with Spencer Rattler. If they're going with Tyler Shuck, fine. Let's get behind Tyler Shuck. But I want to know your thoughts. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, search for the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube. Subscribe and smash this like button if you don't mind on this video. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the Who That Say podcast, your podcast for the New Orleans Saints here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this recap of the Saints versus the Jaguars. Ending score 17-17. It's not a loss, so that's a plus. Don't forget to come back next week. I guess it will be a little earlier. Normally I release the previews for the game on a Friday, but since the game is on a Saturday, I guess I don't want to commit. I don't want to super commit to it, but I'm gonna say Thursday we'll release the preview for the Saints versus the Broncos in their final preseason game of the season. Yes, this is the last one before we get to the actual meat and potatoes of this upcoming season. Until then, I'm going to be screaming, "Who that